Joining us now for more is Representative Suzan DelBene of Washington State. She is the head of the DCCC, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Representative, thank you so much. On this issue, do you think abortion can help Democrats take back control of the House?
Well, this is a critical issue for families all across the country. And abortion has been on the ballot over and over since the Dobbs decision. We have seen states with abortion measures on the ballot, and people have turned out in droves standing up for reproductive freedom. Special elections in Kansas, in Virginia, a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin, Ohio, over and over, people have stood up for reproductive freedom, and it's on the ballot in many states across the country on Tuesday, and we're going to continue to see people turn out because the majority of Americans stand up for reproductive freedom and are going to continue to stand up for those rights.
Yeah, I want to just gauge your level of confidence. How confident are you that you could take the House back over this?
We have many close elections, but we are poised to take back the majority in a strong position. We've got incredible candidates running across the country. The American people are with us on policy and want to see people who are going to go back to Washington, D.C. to govern. And so we are in a strong position, but we take nothing for granted and are going to work very, very hard over these last few days to continue to turn out the vote.
And I know people focus on the top of the ticket. I'm wondering if you think Democrats can take control of the House if the vice president is not able to win the presidency.
Well, we're working on the House. I think Vice President Harris is doing an incredible job. So I'm looking forward to having a Democratic House, being able to work with President Harris and Vice President Walz. The House map is a little bit different. We have races all across the country. We have House races in states where the presidential election really isn't contested, in states like California and New York. But we also have races in places like where I am today, in Nebraska, in Iowa, in Alabama, Oregon, Montana, Pennsylvania, just places all over the country where we have opportunities to pick up seats. And so the House map is a little bit different in that way, but we have great candidates running across the country, lots of opportunities to flip seats.
I'm curious what you make of the early voting numbers that we've seen so far. Republicans apparently voting more than in 2020 and 2022. Does that say anything to you? And if it does, what does it say?
Well, I can tell you what I've seen on the ground as I've been traveling across the country to our battleground districts. There is incredible enthusiasm on the ground. People are turning out to knock on doors, to phone bank, to do everything they can to help turn out the vote. And it is just really inspiring to see people know what's at stake this election. They know it's about our rights and our freedoms and our democracy and our future. And so people are going to do everything they can to make sure we turn out the vote. And I think that enthusiasm and energy that I see on the ground is translating to success for us in districts all across the country.
And just quickly, what would you like to see the vice president focus on and do over the course of the next 4 days?
Well, it is all about getting out the vote. She's been everywhere, which is so important. And, you know, for our candidates, for House Democrats running across the country, they are working hard to talk to people about just the huge differences between the folks they're running against, the chaos and dysfunction and extremism that we've seen from a House Republican majority in Congress, and the work that they will do going to Congress to help move our country forward. I mean, just folks who want to come to Washington, D.C. to actually legislate, to govern, will be a very welcome change. And I think people across the country really want to see governance work. So we have incredible opportunities, great candidates working incredibly hard. But again, we take nothing for granted. We know many of these races can be close. So we are going to be working till polls close to make sure we turn out every single vote.
Representative Suzan DelBene, thank you so much for taking the time on this Friday. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.